write down your idea, map it out, okay? Because you can never understand or evaluate the size of what you really have in mind if you don't write it down or see it or visualize it. So writing down your idea, sketching it, illustrating it, using whether if it's just a paper and a pen, or using Canva, or using a professional, let's say, user experience software, anything that you have in front of you, just draw it, imagine it, write it down, so that if you want to show it to someone else, they will understand.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Design a Future podcast. I got Reem on today. Reem, please go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Reem Khrabat. I'm originally from Jordan in the Middle East, and I currently live in Saudi Arabia. And I was just saying it's on the other side of the world, but I currently I own a SaaS business with my husband. We have a property management software company and a mobile application. And I'm also a business coach. I'm actually a serial entrepreneur. I'm the founder of the Entrepreneur Accelerator Lab. It's a mentoring program, as well as the host of the Entrepreneur Accelerator podcast, which is a top-ranked podcast. I interview top influencers in the industry like Dean Graziosi, Alex Sharfin, Randy Garn, Elena Cardone. And of course, like, this sounds so cool, but before that, I was I came from the corporate world. I was a CFO for over 15 years, and I never thought in my whole life that I would be one day a business owner, or even like to own 3 businesses, or have a podcast of my own. So basically this is me. And we can talk more about, if you want, about my story.
Amazing. So, there's quite a lot of people that will come on to this podcast, and, I make a lot of like how-to videos getting started with certain things. So for someone that doesn't know what a SaaS business is, just explain that a little bit further in regards to what it is you do for your clients.
Awesome. So basically, even 5 years ago, I didn't know what a SaaS business is. But what happened is that me and my husband, we had an idea. Of course, what happened is that both of us, we were corporate executives. I was a member of the board of directors. I was CFO. He was a marketing executive. And we both came from this background of, working for other people, building other people's dreams. So we actually knew nothing outside, let's say, our corporate jobs. But on the day I gave birth, I was asked by my boss to quit because I was too expensive for him, and they didn't want to pay maternity, And at the same time, my husband, he started with an idea, and he was like, you know what, I think we should just together work on this idea. It was simply, before talking about what is SaaS or how did it start, we thought of a problem that we were facing as executives. We were working, traveling into different countries, and as expatriates, we used to live, we worked in Iraq, we worked in Africa, so many countries. And one of the problems that we faced is that we used to live in, let's say, luxury apartments or good apartments in a compound. Mm-hmm. And we used to pay so much for our rent, but reaching the property manager was extremely difficult. So we either have to call them, we either have to write a note and expect them to come back to us whether we needed a maintenance request or something. So the communication part was extremely tough. And we felt that we pay money and we did not get a good service in return. So this small idea, which is very, very niche, mm-hmm. we thought about what solution can we provide to solve our own problem, and at the same time solving other people's problem who are having the same thing,
Sure.
And we started thinking about that. The first thing that we did is that we have, like your board, we had a big whiteboard, and we started mapping and drawing things, and we did not know what we were getting into. We didn't know, would it be an application? Is it a system? We had no idea. We just took let's say, dumped all our thoughts into a board, like a vision board,
Yeah.
and slowly, by more research and by digging deeper and deeper, we realized that, it's not only an application, there's going to be a huge system. And what happened is that we built a prototype. So basically, what is a SaaS business? It's software as a service. So any software that will provide a service. For example, Uber is a SaaS business. Let's say ClickFunnels is a SaaS business. Anything that is using the internet and a software or an application that solves a problem is considered a SaaS business. So this is what happened with us. We started with just a simple prototype of our vision, because like every time we dump something new, it becomes so big, and it was intimidating at the beginning, because that means it needs fund, it needs a lot of time, resources, and it's just the two of us. But just having the vision and the prototype allowed us to sell that vision to a client who really needed that service or that idea. We generated over $300,000 just from that client. And from there, we built our business.
Amazing.
So this is basically, the concept.
Amazing. And sorry, the one thing I pick up from there is like you look at something like that and you think it's such a scary sort of journey ahead. But
True.
if you was to give someone advice, because I know like a lot of people, for example, totally sort of irrelevant, but some people will think like, oh, I've got an idea for an app, but then they'll never progress because they're like, I'm not an app designer, right? So if you could sort of break down the steps, because I'm guessing obviously yourself and your husband, you wasn't developers or software engineers at all. So a lot of people will get to that hurdle and be like, okay, I'm not an app designer, so I can't move forward with that. If you could sort of like reverse engineer it, and if you was to give someone your steps on how you would break that barrier down, what would they sort of look like?
Beautiful. And I've been told exactly the same thing by so many of my students who really had brilliant ideas, but they were so scared, thinking in advance that, it's going to be huge. Maybe we don't have enough money. Maybe it needs, like, as I said, more resources. And this is, I believe, is an excuse, whether it's for an app or whether you want to launch just a normal online business or a course or a program or anything. For me, it's exactly the same steps. First of all, you need to believe that whatever you have in mind, if you really want it so bad, you can achieve it. Regardless who you are, how much money you have in your bank account, you just need to be resourceful. This is number one, okay? Because without that mentality and mindset, you can never achieve anything, whether it's an app, whether it's, as I said, a course or anything, okay? So this is number one. Number two, what you really need to do is to write down your idea, map it out, okay? Because you can never understand or evaluate the size of what you really have in mind if you don't write it down or see it or visualize it. So writing down your idea, sketching it, illustrating it, using, whether if it's just a paper and a pen, or using Canva, or using a professional, let's say, user experience software, anything that you have in front of you, just draw it, imagine it, write it down, so that if you want to show it to someone else, they will understand. And not just if you want to show it to someone else, so that if you see it and you visualize it and you see it in front of you, the implementation will be much easier, because you now have some sort of evaluation to the size of what you're getting into. So number three is not the how, but the who. Find someone who can help you translate this vision into reality. As you said, me and my husband had zero experience in building apps or coding or programming. I come from finance background. He comes from marketing background. So literally, we know nothing, but we were so passionate about it. And we felt that this is going to be awesome. And we started by thinking that it could be just a simple app. Okay? We didn't even think or imagine that this small idea is going to be translated into a huge enterprise software with an app. But what really helped us is that we kept we had a solid prototype or a vision or an illustration, visual sketches of what we really want. Everything, like we even imagined this button will do what, and who's going to receive what, and who's going to assign what. We had the sketch of all our thoughts into a paper.
Amazing.
This, we took it and found the right who to help us build it. So we started on Upwork and Fiverr, finding some developers and just checking, hey, can you help us? How much do you charge? We find some Russian company that charges really cheap, just I think maybe $10 per hour at the beginning. We worked with them for like few months. They helped us build, as I said, a good prototype. Not everything was functioning. All our ideas were functioning in our head, but some of the features were functioning and tens of other features were not. But the concept, we started seeing it online, like they helped us see it for real. Okay. And from there, slowly you start learning, like, who do you really want to work with? How to attract the proper team, how to minimize the cost, so that it's better if you get someone full-time to do this with you instead of just getting an agency. But these are stages that happens while you do things. You don't have to think about it at the beginning. Don't think about how. Just think about who can help me reach there. What we focused on is how to get a minimum viable product. As I said, a small prototype with functioning features, not all the features. And we started immediately finding the customers who would be interested in this. And we got so many rejections at the beginning. Can you hear me? Because it was
okay. I can hear you.
So we got so many rejections, and some people, they didn't even understand what we were doing. But also we realized that maybe we were not presenting our product properly. But again, we were learning. As entrepreneurs, we are creative, we pivot, we shift until we find the solution that will work, So it's not necessarily if the first time that we got a rejection, that means that it's wrong, it's bad, it's not enough. We kept trying until we found the client who was really, really interested. And he paid us $300,000, even more. And we're still generating more money, over $2 million from the same client, because we added more features. We had the momentum. He paid us money. We took that money and we invested in building the proper app. So this is number 4 or 5, which is using other people's money to build the actual product. You don't have to use yours, So we used some of our savings. We almost used all our savings, but all our money were spent on our survival, traveling from one country to the other, opening the company, a lot of things, not just on the app. So if you have an idea, please don't let it get buried inside your own head. Put it out, write it down, visualize it. And if you truly believe in it, and if you really are passionate about it, find someone who can help you translate that idea into reality. This is exactly what we've done.
Amazing. Amazing. So much value in there. So much value in there. And I think that's one of the main key things you said is you can either find someone who can do it for you, or you can find someone who can teach you like pretty much any skill. Now the internet is there.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. And obviously doing what you've done so far, what's sort of motivating you now? Like what's sort of getting you ready for business and continuing to try and grow and develop and not just sort of sitting on those previous results?
Well, when we had when I saw that the business was doing well, and it wasn't easy. I don't want to say that, oh, it was a very easy 5 years of our lives. No, 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 no. There were, again, lots of ups and downs, but we were so passionate about it. We took the decision, again, underline decision, that we have to work it out. We have to succeed no matter what. So number one, we cut the noise. We eliminated all the people around us who kept telling us, find plan B, find an emergency plan or a backup plan. This is not going to work. Go find a job. You were executive, so you can find a job. We eliminated all the negative talks from people who have not done it before. Don't take advice from someone who has not done it before. So we've done that. And when I felt that, okay, so I feel strong, I feel empowered, and I feel that because I empowered myself to succeed no matter what is happening, whether it's a pandemic, whether the economy is down, whether the application failed, I know that it's all about me. This helped me teach other people do the same. And when you wake up and feel that just simply by talking like this and inspiring someone, you can help change someone else's life, and you can help someone who was, let's say, struggling. You help them solve their problem, and at the same time you're getting paid for it. It feels so good. Exactly like, have you ever heard Tom Cruise? He was saying that it's the most beautiful feeling, is like you wake up every day, you're enjoying everything that you're doing, and you get paid for it.
Yeah.
As an actor, it's exactly the same thing. This is what really makes me want to wake up and deliver more and do more and create better and make or create a better version of myself, because I realized that I can. 5 years ago, I was my life was dictated by someone else. That someone was telling me, when can I wake up? What can I do? When can I take my vacation? But now I live with my husband and my daughter based on our conditions. We decide what to do today. We decide when if we want to work today or not, or to have breakfast here or there, or travel. It's true. It's the ultimate freedom. By the way, it's still work in progress. We're still getting more and more, but just realizing that you can is very empowering. And it's beautiful for me personally as a girl from the Middle East, where I was raised and conditioned to believe that as a woman in the Arab world, I'm not supposed to dream or think big or do anything. Just if you're a housewife or if you work as an office clerk, it's a big achievement. But when I realized that as a girl coming from this, let's say, restrictions, I managed to live the life that I really want and deserve, it empowered me 10 times more, because I have a daughter and I want to show her that she can be anything she wants to be. Amazing. She just needs to decide. Underline, decide.
Sorry, just to jump in, how old is your daughter, if you don't mind me asking?
She's 5 years old. On the same day, I was kicked out of my job and we started our new business. She was our third partner in this journey. So
Amazing.
it's 5 years. She's 5 years old, and our SaaS business is 5 years old. My entrepreneurship journey is 5 years old.
That's
And
crazy. It was literally like the year you had your daughter. That's amazing. No, the reason I say that is I literally watched a podcast yesterday of a young girl. She's 13, I believe, and it's a similar story. The parents like started their own business when she was born. Cut a long story short, the little girl's like 13 now and has had like two seven-figure fashion businesses basically. And they've been traveling the whole time. She's never been to
yeah.
school, so really, really interesting story. Um, just to go on to another thing in terms of apps and software. Obviously, you've got your own software, so I'm guessing software is very important for you running your businesses.
Mm.
What would be free apps that if I was to come and delete them off of your phone or your laptop that you'd really struggle running your business without these free apps?
Um, there are so many, but definitely Canva. I love design.
Love it, love it.
um, and and why I say that, because 5 years ago, when we wanted to create a, we wanted to present ourselves as professional company, and we were just two. Okay, so for us to create a great professional document with a company profile and a proposal, and it was Canva, and I was amazed. It was very new at that time, and I was amazed by the quality and the ease of how you can do something with it, and it impressed immediately the client.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped. Again, it was like something that helped our brand positioning, which is like quality and creative.
Yeah.
Not like everybody at that time was just sending Word documents and that's it, black and white. So
Mm-hmm.
I love Canva. I still do. We can't get rid of Slack and Trello because it's our way to freedom. This is how we assign our the tasks to our teams. And so we don't live without them. And recently, of course, Zoom. Without Zoom, nothing happens. But more as a podcaster, I'll give you another two
Definitely.
softwares or apps that you can use as a podcaster that I really, really can't live without. Um, the first one is otter.ai, OTTER.ai, which is a transcription a platform where I just take all my episodes, dump it in there, and have it all transcribed, and I turn it into posts, blog posts, and stuff. So this is amazing. The second one is Descript. I think it's called Descript. And this one is beautiful as well because you can take your audio file or your video, and it will immediately edit it for you. So all the filler gaps, the gap words or the filler words, and the and especially me, like I always say so it removes that. It annoys me, so it removes it automatically. And also it helps you there's an option in there that if you said something wrong, a word that is wrong, you can delete it and write the proper word, and it will use your voice to pronounce that word. So you can fix without having to re-record it again. It's beautiful. So Descript is amazing. Otter.ai is brilliant for me. There are so many. So that's enough.
Amazing. And I love that you said about Canva, like running such a big business, and that you're using Canva because it's such an amazing tool, and people still, I don't think, are utilizing it enough. Like people that just haven't got that creative in them, like all of the templates, they're so amazing.
We did not have designers at that time. At that time, it was just me and my husband. We had to be the CEOs, the salespeople, the marketing, the janitors, the coffee makers, the designers. We had to be everything. So having a tool like Canva was just amazing. Now we have our designers who just create everything for us. But me as Reem, I love using it. I just find it so easy, even using my phone. Just I have Canva and I download it, create every design and just share it. So it's beautiful. It's an amazing tool, powerful, very powerful.
Amazing, cool. You slightly went on to it a little bit about your teams and outsourcing certain things, but what does that look like for you, like now versus like what you said when you was starting and you was doing all of the designs yourself, you was running the business completely just you and your husband. What does it look like compared to now, where you've obviously got certain people in place fulfilling certain tasks?
It's amazing. Why? Because you get to find someone who's better than you. Of course, if you have the leadership mindset, not just a manager mindset, if you have the leadership mindset, you will find someone who's smarter than you, who's more skilled than you, smarter and more skilled, someone who's an expert in doing things, because you can never be an expert doing everything. If I'm good at finance or at business development, let's say, I can't be an excellent designer. I can't be an excellent, let's say, problem solver or project manager. I can't be all that. Mm-hmm. So I need to bring in people who are smarter and better than me. But my responsibility as a leader is to take care of them, because this is my business. And if they are happy and successful, and if they feel that they were rewarded, my company will be good and successful, and they will be happy to do things with me, to grow with me. So it's amazing because first, it creates the freedom that we all want. 5 years ago, as I said, we used to work 24 hours. But now we decide, and I always aim to work 4 hours maximum a day, not a week. I'm not Tim Ferriss yet, but I try to work 4 hours a day. Mm-hmm. That's it. And I have the time for myself. I have more time to create memories with my husband and my daughter. We create activities together. This was not very easy for us 5 years ago because we had to do everything. So, it was like constantly running, and we needed to learn this, to learn that. But the lesson that I learned, because you said something, you said that you can either find someone who can do it for you or find someone to teach you what to do. I agree with you to a certain extent. You don't have to learn everything. Mm-hmm. You don't have to learn something that you're not passionate about. Let me give you an example. A lot of the online entrepreneurs are taking courses for funnel design or how to be a great copywriter. Copywriting is sometimes you need it, but like, for example, designing a funnel or how to create a website. Don't take a course to learn how to build a website or a funnel if your main business is not building funnels. Sure. Take the money. Remember, you're building a business. Building a business is not free. You need to invest. So invest in resources that you bring in to help you build a funnel for you while you're focusing on the strategic side or focusing on the thing that you are really good at. Are you good at sales? Focus on sales. Let someone else build a funnel for you. But what I've seen from the people that I work with and I teach is that they were torn and overwhelmed because they bought tens of courses, how to design a funnel, how to create, how to do the SEO and to do Facebook ads, and how to do this and that. You don't have to learn all of this. Focus on building your business. Taking courses on things that you're not is not your main business is not going to help you. use the money of these courses to hire people who are better than you to do it for you. But it doesn't mean that I'm not saying that you need self-development. You need a mentor who's going to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
You need someone who's going to tell you what to do. Just exactly when we said how to build an app, you need 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to focus on this, not on that. You need to continuously enhance your skills, your abilities, your mindset, to understand business more. Focus on finances, for example. You have to understand how to read your numbers, but do not focus on learning everything else. Because eventually, if you want to build a business, this business needs a CEO, needs a technical guy, for example, a designer, copywriter, digital marketing, or a social media manager.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Which one of these roles you fit in, and then outsource the rest.
Amazing. And I think one like key takeaway from that is talking about your story is like you could have learned how to have built the app yourself, but it would have then probably added
Exactly.
5 years onto that business, right? So yeah, it's obviously such an important thing to hire people that have better skills than yourself, and always looking to hire that, what we like to call like the A team of freelancers, if you like, and actually building a team. A lot of people talk about it in like outsourcing and I'm gonna get freelancer, but actually having people that you can train on certain things is going to be what really moves the needle. Just to finish up, obviously, because you've got like your personal brand now, as well as the business, what would be some little tips in terms of starting a personal brand, whether they've got their own business or they're just starting and documenting their process of their like new business?
I love that question because I decided last year to go out as a personal brand. It's easier, or this is how I felt, it's easier to sell a product, a physical product or a product. It was harder for me to sell myself because it's the same thing like when you want to sell an iPhone and say the benefits of it, compared to Android, for example. You as a person, you need to show your credibility, your authority. You need to build the trust with the people that you are dealing with. So these things should not be ignored. At the same time, you need to be visible. People need to know about you. So there were so many things that I was at the beginning, I was like overwhelmed with, because I didn't know what to do with the imposter syndrome. Like, who is going to listen to this girl from the Middle East? Even if I have a SaaS business, it doesn't mean anything to people who don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
But what really helped me was launching my podcast. I was amazed when I knew the power of having a podcast, whether it's a YouTube podcast or whether it's on iTunes. But having a platform will immediately increase your authority level. It's based on human psychological triggers, by the way. So you will get higher authority if you have a show, whether it's a normal, like it's a YouTube and so having a podcast gave me more visibility, authority. It allowed me to reach out to top influencers from this couch. I live in Saudi Arabia. I hit the top charts. I was in the top 50. And if I pushed more, I would have got more, But I was number 1 in the Middle East for business. And all that happened because I managed to, as I said, raise the authority, raise the credibility. The visibility was bigger. And I like all of this while providing real value and helping people solve a problem. So I was just trying to help entrepreneurs like me who are starting out how to accelerate their business success by teaching them everything that I wished I learned when I started, you know? So, yeah.
Amazing, amazing, cool. Well, obviously the podcast is Designer Future, so I'd love to sort of find out a little bit what's your plans for the next 12 months or so.
For my podcast or for everything?
In general, yeah, the podcast, you know, the business, everything, family life in general. You know,
Oh my God, a lot of
traveling
things.
is a little bit restricted at the moment, but travels, any traveling?
Yeah, we were planning to go to Las Vegas um, to be part of the World Summit created by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, because I am an award-winning knowledge broker by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. All that happened during that year. Okay, so you can imagine what can happen in 6 months' time. And so there are so many plans. I recently got contacted by mastermind.com of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and they asked me to join their coaching team to help their students in learning the like entrepreneurship and building their business. So this was unplanned, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for me. But let's say, talking about my plans that I was planning myself, I'm working on my program, the Entrepreneur Accelerator Lab. I also have a free group where I do weekly trainings for entrepreneurs, and I intend to give all my experience and all what I learned inside this group, because I really want to help as many people as possible realize that it's not as scary and intimidating as possible if you know what to do. So this mentoring program, I really want to take it to the next level where I can really help. I don't want to commit to a number. I have still my vision board, but it's going to be big. It's going to be big. And for the podcast, also, there are so many things I'm working on. I don't want to say it because I'm working on a launching strategy for it. So you're going to hear about it very, very soon.
Amazing, amazing. Well, all the best for the future, and sounds like you've only just started. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to leave your links in the description below. Guys watching and listening, thank you so much, and I shall see you in the next episode. Take care, guys.
Thanks.
Hollywood 6.